Hi children, how are you all? I hope all you are fine. Children, in the previous video we discussed that worksheet 2, right? Children, see here in this video we are going to discuss about that concept 3. Concept 3 which is related to angles. Okay ma? Here angles are formed by rays. Already we learnt about that rays, no? Ray means what here? A line segment which can be extended endlessly in one direction. Then that is called a ray. Okay. Now here in this video we will discuss about that angle. What about that angle? See here, if two rays, actually we know about that a ray. By joining two rays, the region formed by joining of two rays at a common point, the angle will be formed. Okay. Now here see that, if two rays having a common point, then they can form an angle. Common point, then they can form an angle. An angle. See here ma. So what is the meaning of this one? Angle means, see here, by joining the two rays. Okay, this is one of the ray, no? See here, this is one of the ray. Here another ray I drawn here like this. Understood ma? Here I kept that point as O. This is A. This is B. See here, by joining two rays OA and OB, and here these two also having that common point. Am I clear ma? And here the union of two rays. The union of two rays means the region formed by two rays at the common point. That region is called that angle. That region is called that angle. Understood ma? Now here, what are the parts of this angle? Did you understand this one? What about that angle? Say that by joining two rays having that a common point, at that common point the union or the region which is formed at the common point of two rays is called angle. Understood ma? Now here see that, what are the parts of angle here? Okay, just say that, here we drawn like this, no? This is OA and this is OB. Understood ma? Now here parts means, here OB is called here initial ray. What is that ma? Initial ray. OB is called that initial ray. OA is called that terminal ray. OA. Already I told you now how to represent that rays here. Okay, OA is called here terminal ray. Terminal ray. OB is called here initial ray or fixed ray. Initial ray or fixed ray. First I will tell you here what are the parts. Fixed ray, parts of an angle. After I will tell you that uses. Understood ma? Now here see that OA is called the terminal ray, OB is called that initial ray or fixed ray. Okay. Now here OA and OB are called arms. OA and OB are called arms of an angle. Arms is nothing but hands of that angle. Okay ma? Arms of an angle. Arms of an angle. Now here, and in the same way another part. What is that? Here the common point. What is that common point here? That is O. Here O is the fixed point. O is that common point. O is the common point, which is called vertex of an angle. Vertex of an angle. Understood ma? These are the parts of that angle. So what are the parts of angle here? By joining two arms we will get that angle. Okay, those two arms we will call them as, those two rays we will call them as arms or hands of that angle. And in the same way here at the down horizontal line, is there no horizontal ray here? Okay, OB is called here initial ray or fixed ray. Okay, it does not move. And here OA is called the terminal ray. Okay, it can be moved. It can be movable here, that is. Now here O is called that, here O is that common point. See that OA, OB. What is that common point here? O is that common point. That's why we will call that one as a vertex of an angle. This total one has that angle only, no? So this one is called vertex of an angle. Which one is called vertex of angle here? O is called vertex of the angle. So children, these are the parts of angle. Now here, how to represent the angle? Okay, now here say that. Representation of angle. Representation of angle. Okay, now here what is the symbol of an angle? Symbol of an angle is, what is the symbol, ma? This is the symbol, just like that L. This is the symbol of angle. Okay, and here how to represent means, see here, this is that angle OA, OB rays. OA, OB are the rays. Okay, ma? And here the union, this region is called that angle, no? Now here how to represent means, this one represented as angle AOB. Okay, read this one as angle AOB. Angle AOB or angle BOA. That one also same only. Read it as angle BOA. And in the same way, only vertex angle also we can show that. Okay, angle O. In these three ways, we can show that we can represent that angle. Understood, ma? What is that? First one, about this is the symbol of angle, and here the representation is angle AOB or angle BOA, or at that particular point, at that particular common point, angle will be formed now here. So at that particular point also we can show that one as representation. Okay, that one also angle O. Understood, ma? Now here see that this is the representation of angle. Okay, now here we are taking the two rays now here. Just observe that. Here this is one of the ray, that is OB for example. Okay, here this is another ray, that is OA. Understood, ma? See here, this is a terminal ray. Understood? Children, do you know that clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction? Yes or no? Yes, you have an idea about that clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. Now here children see that okay, this direction is called clockwise direction. Okay, and this direction is called anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise means opposite direction of clockwise is called anti-clockwise direction. Now children see that if this terminal ray, it turns in clockwise direction. Okay, if the terminal ray turns in clockwise direction, then that one comes to that near to that OB. Okay, at that cases what will happen here? If it turns in clockwise direction, then what will happen means, here this is O, no? Now here see that this is that OA terminal ray. If it comes to in this direction, if it moves in clockwise direction, okay, then the angle will be like this. If it moves in a clockwise direction, just observe the children here, what will happen to that angle? Actually this is that first angle. Okay, after it comes to like this, then this is that second angle. Next one see that this is third angle. This is the fourth angle. Fifth one. This is the final angle. Children, observe that what changes we can observe here in that angle here. Just children, a terminal ray, it moves in clockwise direction. Okay, what changes we can observe in that angle here? The angle becomes decreasing or increasing here. Just observe that the space will be increasing or decreasing here. The space will be decreasing means the angle also will be in decreasing order. Understood, ma? So, if that terminal ray turns in that clockwise direction, then the angle will be in decreasing order. Then the angle will be in decreasing order. Angle will be decreased. When we can say that if the terminal ray moves in a clockwise direction, then the angle will be decreased. Understood, ma? If that terminal ray, it moves in anti-clockwise direction, then what will happen? Okay, see here. This is that fixed ray and this is the terminal ray. Okay, now here see that. Okay, ma. Now here it moves in anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction means opposite to that clockwise direction. Okay. Now in that anti-clockwise direction, what we can observe here? Anti-clockwise means just see that. For example, it moves in anti-clockwise direction. Then like this you will get no. Understood, ma? At that starting, what is the angle here? At that starting here, this is the angle. Okay. Now here, after it moves one turn, then what is that angle here? This is the second angle. Okay. Next, third one, this is the third angle. Next one, here this is fourth one. Next, see that, here this is fifth one. Next, here see that, this is sixth one. What we can observe in that angles here? See the children, if that terminal ray that is moves in anti-clockwise direction here, what we can observe here? The angle will be in increasing order. Okay, this is the smallest angle at that starting. Next, greater, that one becomes here just increasing order only, no? From this one, what we can say here? If the terminal ray moves in anti-clockwise direction, then the angle will be in increasing order. Okay, see here. If the terminal ray moves in anti-clockwise direction, terminal ray moves in anti-clockwise direction, then the angle will be in increasing order. Understood, ma? From this case, we can say that one more thing. What is that? If it moves in clockwise direction, then we will get that negative angle. How it will be means, see here, by turning like this one, for example, it crosses that initial point. Here, initial ray is there, no? If that, the terminal ray comes up to here, then what you will get? You will get that negative angles only, no? Then we can say that if the terminal ray moves in clockwise direction, then we will get that negative angle. If that terminal ray moves in anti-clockwise direction, then the angles will be in increasing order, no? Then we will get that positive angle. Understood, ma? And in the same way here, they are also given that those two angles, okay? See here, those two rays. This is ray OB. Initial ray, and this is that terminal ray. Okay, ma? Now, it moves in anti-clockwise direction. Terminal ray moves in anti-clockwise direction, and that one comes to opposite to OB. Okay, the terminal ray comes opposite to OB. Okay, then here this is that OA. The terminal ray moves like this and comes up to here, then it forms that this is OA. Okay, in this direction, in this anti-clockwise direction. Now what we can say here? Here see that OA and OB forms here a straight line. OA and OB are two rays, and those two rays also forms here a straight line. Okay, and in the same way here we can say that OA and OB are opposite rays. Are opposite rays. Children, did you understand what about that angle here? Okay, see that what about that angle? If the two rays are having a common point, then they form an angle. Okay, that the union of two rays having a common point, it can be formed an angle. Understood, ma? And in the same way, two rays we are saying, no, one of the ray is, that is initial ray, and in the same way fixed ray. Another ray is a terminal ray. Okay, terminal ray, that one moves in clockwise direction, then the angle will be negative, and in the same way then the angle will be decreased order. Okay, if that terminal ray moves in anti-clockwise direction, then the angle will be in increasing order, and we will get that positive angle. Okay, now here see that those two angles also lies like that straight line, opposite rays. Those two opposite rays forms here a straight line. Understood, ma? So this is about that angle and parts of the angle, and in the same way representation of angle. Okay, in that next video we will discuss about the types of angles. Okay, thank you all.